Low, and I am live. Hi, I am low, and I'm live. Hello, everyone. It's Sybil Wilkes. I am Sybil Wilkes, and with me, he's back. He said he
Yeah,
would come back, and he came
yeah,
back.
yes. Although
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with a good lie as to why I shouldn't be here today, but I couldn't come up with anything. So
Okay. What were you working on?
I'm like, just go do the show and shut up. That's
Well, I mean, I don't want to infringe upon your time because I know that you're busy. You got stuff going on.
well, I'm not that busy, and I don't have that much stuff going on.
Well, you make it seem like you do.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So, and when you tell me that, it's hard to believe because you do such a good job of making me believe that you.
Of BS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do
So
you
I
know the history of BS?
the just being called bull ish.
Why they say BS?
No, tell me what is the history?
We have time.
Yes.
Okay. If you're a farmer and you have animals, cows, chickens, pigs, and stuff like that, um, cow stuff is a fertilizer. Chicken, pigs, ducks, all of it is fertilizer. Bull don't grow nothing. It won't grow
Really?
nothing.
So bull poop will not.
Bull poop grows nothing. So if you buy fertilizer, you have to watch to see if farmers put a lot of bull in the fertilizer that you're buying.
Oh.
Henceforth, the phrase, that ain't nothing but a bunch of bull.
Bull.
Yeah, so that's where it came from.
I did not know.
I did not. I learned that from listening to Joe Madison. That's where it came from.
I love the Black Eagle. I absolutely love the
I
Black
do.
Eagle.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
it. That's where I got it from.
Well, thanks for sharing
I
that.
don't know if it's true.
Well, if it came from Joe Madison, I'll believe it. If it came from you and you didn't credit Joe Madison.
Can I do my impression of Joe Madison?
Yeah, absolutely. And for people who don't know, Joe Madison, call him the
It's
Black
on
Eagle.
the Urban Network.
On Sirius XM. And he is a pioneer in radio.
Now, I've never seen him. I don't know what he looks like.
Mhm.
So I just know from hearing him. So shut your eyes, everybody, while I do this. Now, wait a minute. Wait one damn minute. Just, damn it. Now, pot him down.
That's Joe. That's Mr. Joe Madison.
That's Mr. Joe Madison. I love it. I love listening to his show.
I do too. I learn things from him every time I turn on and listen to him. And it is absolutely, he really is. He's not a pioneer for nothing. And he like Tom Joyner is one of those people who really cares about Black people.
He really does. He really does.
Yeah. You gotta love it. Absolutely love it. I know people can't see it, but I am fascinated by your hat. What is that? It looks like your creation.
It's one of my arts. It's called the praise dancer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And so I have a series of about 20 hats. This one is called the praise dancer. I just stick some religion in there. I also have a hat.
And your sister loves it.
My sister loves it. Yeah. Oh my God! I'll tell you later. I went to my sister's house. Joel Osteen was on, and we watched Joel Osteen all day, and I couldn't wait to leave. I just could not.
Jay sent me a text, and he sent me video of him at his sister's, and I think Joel Osteen was on the television, and the message was, "Help me." I love your sister. I love your sister, Nita.
I love my sister, right?
But it was so funny because it was. I mean, that's something we all might do with a family member or two. So
just sitting and talking with her, I had the best time. We reminisce and have fun. So it's cool.
That's nice. That's really sweet. Absolutely sweet. So I'm glad to see you today, and I know that you. I said this before, but I do know that you have a lot going on, and you're traveling tomorrow. So
I'm going to Chicago with Myra J. and George Wallace.
Yes,
and Damon will be there on Saturdays. And so after George does 2 hours and a half, I'll get on stage.
I do 2 or 3 hours.
or 3 hours.
Okay. Let's check out our What You Need to Know newsletter. J. Anthony Brown, and this is our Monday through Friday effort to super serve the African American community. And we would love to have you subscribe to it. Please go to SybilWilkes.com and give us your name and your email address. The subscription is absolutely free. So today we are talking about things that not only deal with the African American community, but definitely everyone. But this is a business in which the majority of the members are African American or Black, I should say, people of color. And this is about the NBA. The headline is the NBA shoots for civic engagement. So the new team schedules have come out for the NBA, and they were released on Wednesday. And I don't know about you, but as a sports fan, I like to look at who the rivals, when the rivalries are going to be played, when the who's going to be in the Christmas night games. Those are big games. When do the playoffs begin? That kind of thing. But if you look at your schedule, you'll see that there is one day that's absolutely dark. On November 8th, there will be no games played amongst the 30 NBA teams. And that is because they are encouraging people to vote on that day. That's
great.
That's election
really
day.
Great. That's
yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
And preferably it would be great if we could get NBA players to go out and vote and get more civically involved in government, not so much as, running their mouths or just encouraging people to go vote. I think that's great. I think that is great.
Well, there are those that do that. Hats off to LeBron James for all the good things that he does. If you remember during 2020, he really put his money where his mouth was and got people energized.
He did.
Invigorated, if you will.
Especially when what's her name said, "Shut up and dribble." He just, he's like, "Well, I'll show you what I can. I'll show you the power that I have." And he does have a lot of power. And not only NBA players, but rappers and and movie stars and television stars and people like yourself and even me encouraging people to go out and vote. I think that's great, Sybil. I think that's great.
Absolutely. So LeBron James is one of those, and you remember after the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the people were taking to the streets, and the NBA players took a knee. And many times some of them walked off the court, including the entire Milwaukee Bucks basketball team after a young man was shot by a policeman in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yes, and LeBron has so much money now that so 91.7 million.
97.1. Yeah.
7. Yeah, for 2 years.
Yeah, to finish out his career.
Wow.
I know.
That's not going to help the Lakers. They still suck. How about that?
And that is from the number one Laker hater. Some things don't change, do they?
No.
You can move across the country.
I don't care how much money you pay the Lakers and LeBron. I still hate them. Yeah. The hate travels with me. You know what I
mean? Jay used to hate and used to publicize it so much. He had the Laker Haters Club.
I have a Laker Haters Club, and I also have the Laker Haters T-shirt.
Yes.
I was going to say when we go to break, but we don't.
We don't go to break. Not here. We don't.
When we go to break, I'll show you my T-shirt.
Maybe another time, or maybe
another
time.
Yeah.
Maybe you can post it. And also post where people can get those cute hats too.
Thank you.
But definitely, when they do not play on November 8th, they are encouraging people to go out and vote. And a number of the arenas, they will have voting booths. They'll have polling places set up as they did last time. Sometimes they had people who were able to early vote at an arena or a training facility. Sometimes they had people who were able to vote on voting day, on the election day. They had to set up there for the polling places. Some of the arenas had both. They allowed early voting and voting on the day of.
And
they will
not
continue
only that, with Republicans doing everything they can to not encourage people to vote, not only to not encourage them to vote, to stop them from voting, by, moving voting polls and stuff like that, and playing games and moving, deleting places for them to vote. It's very important that we get out and vote. You're right, because
Absolutely.
we can stay strong by we vote. When you sit around and go, well, what can I do? You can vote.
So can I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Have you re-registered? Have you registered in your new place?
No, I have not. No. And I've been here long enough too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. When you said put me on the spot, it sounds like divorce court or something.
Not me.
Yeah. Is there another child somewhere? No, I have not. But I did, my granddaughter is my new assistant. And I told her to do that for me, because now I'm still registered in Los Angeles, California.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I can't encourage that. Never mind. I do know that there's a very important race in Los Angeles for mayor of Los Angeles. And,
yes, there is. Yes. So
Karen,
maybe I could vote there and then change it. No, that's not.
No, because the races in Georgia are just that important too. When you think about Stacey Abrams,
all seriousness, I think the one in Georgia, to me, is more important, that we don't send Herschel Walker to wherever I said send his ass back home. And I'm so glad that Vernon lost his seat. And now all he can do is kiss Giuliani's ass. And that's my one curse word. That's one.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah,
but did you see that the other day?
Did you see him behind there?
Yeah, Vernon Jones was behind Rudy Giuliani.
Such a loser.
Yeah.
Two losers together, right?
I wonder if they're drinking buddies too. Vernon Jones accompanied Rudy Giuliani to the courthouse in Atlanta.
Like a lot of help Vernon Jones is going to give you, really. He can't even win an election. How is he going to help Rudy?
Right. Exactly right. But if folks says, is that Vernon Jones? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was
Vernon Jones, the Trump supporter. Jay, this story is about California reparations and a movement that has now made it possible for this movement to decide who is Black and who's not. California has become the first in the nation to require state agencies to include a separate category for descendants of enslaved people in its collection of employment data. It was introduced by an assembly member, Chris Holden, folded into the state budget and signed into law. The language in the budget directs state agencies to implement the mandate by 2024. And so they are finalizing their second report after releasing an interim report on the state's systematic abuse of Black people. And so they say the descendants of enslaved people have said for years that they've been changing the data, but now they're making it apart. If you, I guess, can prove that you are from,
you might have a little something coming.
Yeah, and especially in terms of your employment.
Well, that should also be done for the I keep saying that, is it indigenous?
Yes, you're absolutely right. For sure. Yeah.
For the indigenous people and the people who were put in internment camps doing
the Japanese,
the Japanese people. So don't stop there. Definitely don't stop there. But that's a good thing. It
really is. And
they've been waiting on that 40 acres and a mule for a long.
Yeah. So in the meantime, there is this, and that's in California, and maybe it'll spread throughout the country.
Maybe it'll spread. That would be great.
But definitely in the more liberal states,
because they just passed a law where the people in Oklahoma, where they won the case, but they didn't pass it on to the family members.
Right.
They're only going to give it to the two survivors.
Yeah, talking about the Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yep. The war against Black people when they drop bombs on Black people.
Planes and stuff like that. And they said the family's not entitled.
Just the two
survivors who are up in age.
Who are over 100 years old.
Yeah, they need to be cutting those checks right now as we speak.
So. Yeah. Let's not wait any longer. As a matter of fact, as soon as the judge, made that announcement, they should have
had a check. Yeah,
they should have had them right then and there.
Here's your check right here.
Right. Exactly right. Our coronavirus. Look at coronavirus in this issue of the What You Need to Know newsletter. NFL looking like its old self as it enters the third season in the COVID-19 era, and which means they don't have a lot of testing sites. They don't have a lot of mask wearing. It's just like it's just like.
Are you wearing your mask? Let me put you on the spot. Are you wearing your mask?
Absolutely. I went to lunch today and had my mask on, except when we were eating.
You were eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do wear my mask, but you go to the theater. I was telling you, there's nobody in there, so. In fact, the AMC over by my house, they had to sign the AMC 24.
Mm-hmm.
They took 24 down because only 10 theaters are open now.
Oh wow! Yeah. There is quite a breakdown in terms of the number of theaters. But
now, when I fly, I wear my mask
the whole time for the whole flight.
Time, right? Yes.
So when you go to Chicago, you will wear it.
Yes, I'm masking up. Right,
and what about in the comedy clubs? What are people doing?
Some people in the front row, especially the front rows, are definitely having masks on. So it's about 50-50, when you go in the comedy clubs. I just figure that they're far away enough from me that I won't get COVID. And then we kind of stopped doing the autograph things.
Yeah.
Where we would take pictures, which is money we're losing because we could make money off of that. But
with your T-shirts or whatever else.
T-shirts and stuff like that.
That's unfortunate. I did hear that when you were in Houston, you took off like a jackrabbit as soon as you were over.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
It probably won't be the last.
Probably won't be the last. Yes,
day or night. But it's like you said. You put your mask on and you took off.
I have this new joke that I've been trying to work on, and I'll see what you think. I said I don't think Jesus would come back now because they would wear him out trying to get Jesus to take selfies and get mad. And get mad when they don't take the picture. Oh, it's like that? Really, Jesus?
Jesus.
Don't be like, oh, that's how you gonna do?
Okay, you were my boy.
You was my boy. Hey, Jesus, you gotta get a selfie. Oh, okay. I see how you gonna do.
Okay, that's okay. COVID. Oh, sure.
COVID, yeah. Can't you heal COVID?
Jay, your number one fan, Markeisha Brown on Facebook says, say when you'll be, say again, and we'll have that coming up. We'll talk about that in a little bit when you go to Chicago.
All right.
So the other thing that I want to talk to you about that has nothing to do with this story in our newsletter, talking about the NFL players and the clubs being back to normal. They don't have any testing sites pretty much, even though some of the players are out with
COVID. Sick, right.
Yeah. They're not wearing their masks. They're not being tested, or at least they don't have the testing sites and the setups the way they used to. But Jay, people were questioning the video that you put up the other day that you sent to me, and I was trying to explain to people, and it was like, yeah, but what was the joke? What was he trying to tell us?
The joke is that there is no joke. The joke is there is no joke. Now, the only person who didn't get it was my friend Ralph Hawkins.
No, Ralph was not the only one.
A lot of people didn't get it, but a lot of people got it.
Right.
Got it. All I'm doing is laughing. That's
right.
all I'm doing.
Right. And you kind of walk back and forth in and out of the shot.
So Trump had this, and then I couldn't do it. So it was just something I thought it was funny, and that's what
I thought it was funny, and I said you are very silly, and you just seem to take off from there. Yeah. And Barbara Dunn Harrington says, now Jay had this video, and I was like,
it was funny. She liked it.
I know, because I told her, Barbara.
She's a big fan. She's one of my big fans.
She
right?
and Kelly are your biggest
Kelly
fans.
are my big fans. So when we get done with the show, I'm gonna post it up again so people can see it. Right?
Okay. All right.
But you liked it.
I did, and I said you are the silliest ever. Absolutely. I absolutely loved it and said you're the silliest ever. Let me close this out by talking about our check-in and check-up for your health section in our newsletter. And this is talking about youth mental health is in crisis and our schools doing enough as kids are going back to school and some for the first time and a lot of concern about the mental welfare of our children, mental health and welfare of our children. So please take a look at this. And this is something that we're always going to talk about, the physical and the mental health of everyone. Kids. Right. Of all of us, from adults, children, and the elderly and what have you. So we're going to keep that going and keep the conversation going.
Especially with school starting back now, you know, so many kids were home and they didn't have to go through the things that they had to go through while being in school, such as being bullied, such as peer pressure, you know, in terms of not having stuff that other kids have. And kids do go through depression a lot.
Yeah,
so,
and more so than we recognize or give.
Yeah, more than we recognize, right? I mean, I was talking to you earlier about a movie called Butter.
So we'll talk about that. Let's talk about
that.
Yeah, because we're getting this, you know.
We're getting ahead of us.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
We're getting in front of our skis.
Right. So it's time for what's really going on. This is our question of the day, and I want to hear your thoughts about this. I have not checked in with you about this story, but I definitely think if you don't know about it, you will know about it now. But I think most of us have seen this TikTok that has gone viral of a Kansas City, Missouri preacher who said his congregation was poor, broke, busted, and disgusted for not buying him the luxury that he wanted. Well, he's had to issue an apology after his remarks caused a stir on social media. His name is Pastor Carlton Funderburk. He's the senior pastor at the church at the Well. He issued an apology this week for the inexcusable remarks he made during his sermon on August 7th. He was pretty ticked off behind the fact.
I saw this video and I thought he was joking.
Right.
But he was serious. And here's the thing, Sybil. If anybody needs a watch, it's a minister, so he'll know when his ass is preaching too damn long and he can wrap it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, get him a watch.
Yeah.
Get him a watch.
Get him a watch. Now,
please get his ass. Excuse me. That was get him a watch.
That was number two.
That was number two. Get him a watch, right?
He said he has privately apologized to the church who has extended their love and support. So this was posted on TikTok of his sermon, and he berated his church members for not honoring him with a Movado watch. Now, Movado is a nice watch.
It's not that expensive of a watch.
It's not.
And he's not asking for much. You know, he's just a nice Movado. What? That's $100. Maybe you can get a Movado for like $200, $250. Yeah. But here's the other thing. Let's go back to religion. When Jesus rode into the...
Go ahead, Pastor. When Jesus
rode into the city on a donkey, this was equivalent to a Streamliner airline of today.
A
Gulfstream, right? Nobody else was riding. And so I'm sure there's some people went, oh, Jesus got to be riding while we walking. Oh,
his feet can't touch the ground, right?
Oh, he's too good to walk among us. Huh?
So that is the question of the day.
Yes.
Who else needs to be called out? Now, this man he called his parishioners out for not buying him the watch. They called him out by posting the TikTok video.
Right.
And so he called them out for being cheap, for being out of line, like Preacher Funderburk. Who needs to be called out, J. Anthony Brown? Who would you like to see?
I think shouters need to be called out.
And
if you get that watch, you get that watch for the pastor, in the midst of your shouting, you're like,
or like our producer does.
Yeah, wrap it up, right. And the other thing we need to call out, Sybil, I do go to church. I love church. I haven't gone since, the COVID, but I don't know how to say this without embarrassing. We are going to put a weight limit on people we're going to baptize. We just are.
Oh my God.
We're going to do it, Sybil. It has to be done.
Jay.
These are small preachers. These are very small preachers. And so you're going to get sprayed.
But when you put them...
Yeah, you don't have to get it. We're just going to wholly spray you. Yeah. Go walk in God.
Jay, you're going to be baptized by spray?
By spray, yeah. We can't, Sybil.
So it's going to be like this. It's going to be like this.
We can't be lifting all these people up.
Hold
Sybil.
still. Hold still.
Yes. These are old ministers, and they just can't do it, Sybil. We can't do it anymore. Back to the Bible. When Jesus was baptizing people, these were very thin people.
Yeah. We didn't have
that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, so we need to call out the fat parishioners.
We can't use the word fat. We don't use the word fat.
Okay.
Heavy set. We go with heavy set.
Weight challenged.
Pleasantly plump, weight challenged. Even Weight Watchers has taken the word weight out.
Yeah, that's just WW.
Yeah. It's
WW. or is my big A word this week, Zoftic.
Zoftic. I like that, Sybil. I like that.
Zoftic. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're opening up to you as well. What do you think? Who needs to be called out? We called out this preacher who was called out by his parishioners, or should we be calling him out?
Yes.
And who in your life? And it doesn't have to be in the church.
No.
If you want to, right. If you want to call somebody out, like Jay is good for calling out George Wallace a lot. And his mama, and vice versa.
Yes.
But that is a part of their shtick.
That's a part of our spiel, which my sister hates to this day.
Right.
His people hate me too, so whatever.
And so it's a mutual.
It's a mutual thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So talking about this preacher, now there is word that folks who saw this, that they didn't get him the Movado watch, but I've heard that some of the higher end watch companies have contacted him. I don't know if this is true, but I did hear that the Rolex people were
oh, well, that'd be great.
Yeah. No.
And with his luck,
no.
With his luck, he'll be robbed like that other minister.
Okay. No, robbed.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. So people who are watching and listening, Michael Stallworth, Chuck Todd for normalizing Donald Trump and his sycophants as what they do is normal. Both sides politics. They're good people on both sides.
On both sides, yeah. And how they're making excuses for Donald Trump as to what he's doing. We've said this over and over. Black Trump would be in jail.
Yeah, for sure.
Black Trump they'd lock Black Trump up just like that.
But Michael, I will say that I'm not a big Chuck Todd fan, but I do believe that what Chuck Todd is trying to do is to be like an old-fashioned journalist, and that is not to take a side. And he's trying to stay as middle of the road, but it's really difficult to do that now. There are very few people who are mainstream journalists who will stay down the middle and give both sides, Michael. And I think that's what he's trying to do. And I'm not sure that it's working because he's being called out, like by viewers such as yourself.
Just did, right?
Yeah, by very discerning viewers such as yourself. But Markeisha Brown says on Facebook that Jada Pinkett Smith needs to be called.
Wow.
That's interesting. So Jay, what do you think about that? Now that this has happened with Chris and Will, and Will has kind of apologized in some people's opinion. Should Jada be called out for creating this moment, and did she push her husband to do this? Was it her fault that this all happened?
And in a way it was, because if you're in a club with your lady and you start to get crazy, the average woman would go, they would pull you back or stop you from doing something stupid. And especially at an event like that.
Right.
And the fact that she did nothing, she has to take some of the blame. So when he came back, he should have pushed her in the head, not
not pushed her in the head.
Yeah, not slap her, because you don't want
to hit it. Not pushed her in her bald head.
Yeah, right in the head. Your damn fault.
I think that then and all the people who were so offended by Will would then charge him with physical abuse of his wife. He couldn't win for losing.
If anybody's getting beat down, it's Will's getting his behind beat by Jada. Now, definitely verbally, he's getting beat down. Right.
Yeah. Carolyn Jones, Jameson says on Facebook, all these low life athletes, and she calls out Deshaun Watson. I think it's Deshaun Watson you're talking about.
That's what I don't understand. How does he get to play, Sybil?
Well, he doesn't, but we'll talk about that, because we're going to talk about that in our next segment. Yeah. Jacqueline on YouTube says the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe. Jacqueline, we've called them out.
What a bunch of liars.
And see, that's the call out. We need to take those people who lied.
They sat there and told a lie.
This is the rule of law.
You would watch it, you could tell by the way they wouldn't answer the question that they were. But I'm like everybody else, Sybil. I did not see this coming. I did not see them turning over the Abortion Act at all. I didn't. I was totally surprised. But the only way to get around this is to vote these people out of office. I wish Biden would put in some sort of law that these judges are not appointed for the rest of their life. This needs to change.
Except for Ketanji Brown Jackson. I just want her
to have she should have her job forever,
right. But Jay, to your point, we have 1/3 of the United States Senate that's up for election. Empty seats or running for re-election. And so we have 1/3, 33 of the members of the United States Senate, those seats are open. This is the time.
This is the time. And today, Mitch McConnell's right here. In fact, that's not a really good Mitch McConnell, so I won't do it.
No, it was kind of good. I was kind of digging it.
I can't tell how many times I heard that. But anyway.
I was kind of digging it.
That too. He said that and I think he's just throwing up a flag just to maybe encourage people, but that they may not win control of the House. It's a possibility. But what I did see, the fault I see with the Democrats is they're not focusing on what the Republicans have done to the Democrats, especially with Roe versus Wade.
Yeah,
that's the main thing, and nobody's shouting that. Nobody's bullhorning that. Nobody is.
Well, I think that they are. I think in some respects they are. Maybe not as loud as you would like.
Yes.
But I think that they are, and they are indicating to people that it's up to the voter to go out there and not just for the United States Senate, which confirms these conservative justices and then puts them onto the Supreme Court, but also the state legislators are also voting to put the state abortion laws into place, and so
the school boards too. These school boards are changing laws that affect us. That affect us all. So you have to have mindset to pay attention to these school board elections, because they have a lot of control in terms of what they can vote in and vote out. I mean, they're taking out books.
Right.
They're taking books out.
Jay, in suburban Dallas, there's a suburb called Keller, Texas.
I heard that, right.
They took out the Bible out of the library so they could review it.
And they wanted to change Anne Frank's.
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
even right. Yeah, how are you going to change that?
Yeah, she shouts, "We're up here! We're up here!" If you read the book,
you would understand how.
Then you'd understand it.
Yeah. You're sick. You're sick. All right. So we have a couple of seconds left. Anybody wants to get in to say who needs to be called out? The Black people who support Donald Trump. Barbara Ferguson on YouTube.
Thank you. Blacks for Trump.
That's and we've mentioned one already. And that is Black people who support Donald Trump. That's a great way to wrap this up. Jay, anybody else you want to call out before we wrap this?
Tim Scott.
Tim Scott.
You know what? Forget his politics. Get a gum reduction. Come on, Tim. Come on, man. Come on.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, dude. Get them gums cut down.
Tim, we're gonna
cut them down.
We're going to send you to one of our favorite dentists. Okay, how's that? All right, J. Anthony Brown, thank you for that. It's time to talk trending topics.
Yes.
And as promised, I think it was your number one fan asked where you're going to be in Chicago. That is
Riddle's Comedy Club. Now, I keep saying it's in Chicago, but it's not Chicago.
It's suburban Chicago. It's oh God, I can look it up, but it's not Chicago, but it's the south suburbs of Chicago.
It's suburbs of Chicago. It's Riddle. It's Damon Williams' comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
We say it's his. It's his.
It's his. No, it really is.
Really. Yeah. We and George Wallace, Myra J, and myself. And Saturday, Damon will be there, which means I'm going to get on stage later, much later.
Right.
But it's a great comedy club. I like that he changed the way it's set around. He had the stage in the corner, but now he put it on the side. So we'll see.
It's Alsip, Illinois. It's
Alsip, right? Yeah.
Some people say Alsip. It's Alsip, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, and it is on the south side.
Very nice, nice club.
Yeah. Right. And he deserves. He's done a really great job, and
he put that club on the map. He said he won't say it. Well, he probably does say it. He single-handedly saved that club. Which is what Black comics have been doing for the last 10 to 15 years. Had not it been for Black comics coming to these white clubs, chuckles, yuck, yuck, ha ha, hee hee, ho ho, these clubs would be dead. And if you think I'm lying, look at the ticket price when they come as opposed to when we come. Right. That's all you got to do.
Right. Jay, do you miss being a comedy club owner?
No. Hell. I got another cousin. Hell no. But, I've never had a successful comedy club, so I don't know what that's like. But I know the pitfalls of what it takes to have a successful Black comedy club. And I know what Black club owners go through in terms of not being able to get the quote unquote big Black names to come to their club. Mm-hmm. They will not come. Now they have these rules that if you go here, you can't come there. But they would go up to the other comedy club and work for free. Right. I would offer them money. And they wouldn't come, and they said, "Well, your club."
What do they say, Jay? How do they defend themselves?
I would hear stuff like, "You didn't ask me." I would hear stuff like, "Your club's in the hood. Your club's dangerous." Nobody ever got shot in my club, and they were shooting up at the Comedy Store. Mm-hmm. And there have been fights. We had one fight, but but no, it's just.
And your food is better.
The mindset is that, and one thing I can quote Tom for saying this, it's hard for a Black person to support another Black person.
That is just so
but it is
the way we should be.
It is.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So Jay will be with Myra J, George Wallace on Friday and Saturday night, August 19th and 20th.
And then after that, I go someplace else.
Well, I do know that you guys are going to be at the Stardome in Birmingham,
Alabama, right?
That's Labor Day weekend. That's almost here. Wow. Yes. Wow, this summer's gone.
Do you put away your white women after Labor Day?
You do. Like we used to recommend that you would put your white women away after Labor Day, but that never
would happen.
No, absolutely.
Can we just say this now?
No,
it doesn't matter because they're going to believe. Let's leave it out.
Look at the time. Look at that. No. What would you like to say, Jay?
No, just leave it because they're not going to believe you no matter what you say. I don't date white women
anymore.
Okay. All right, I can't wait. That's a boom ting. That's a
and I don't know how it started. I don't know why I did it. I don't and nothing made Jay angrier than I wouldn't say angry. Nothing.
No, because after a while I went with it.
Yeah, you went with the bit.
And I encouraged it.
But not the gay part. But
not the gay part.
Not the gay part. But the dating of the white women, you definitely. I mean, you had billboards of you. You and a white woman getting married, it just all kinds of stuff. So I don't know why. I don't know
they're gonna go, yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever. Sure. But you know what? And Jay, when you would be out on your comedy gigs and women would come up to you at the Sky Show or at the club and say, I know you look.
They'd say it real low. I know you like white women.
But can I get this picture?
Can I get this picture?
All right, back to the serious topics at hand. The R. Kelly trial is going on in Chicago, Jay. And his alleged victim testified today saying that, and get this, she's his former goddaughter.
Wow.
She testified that she and R. Kelly had sex with her hundreds of times before she turned 18.
Wow.
She was only 15 when they first had sex. The disgraced singer's alleged victim took the stand in the federal trial in Chicago, telling the jury she had sex with him over and over and over again as a minor because she was too intimidated to say no. She's now 37 years old.
My question is this, Sybil. How much time does R. Kelly have at this particular point?
I think it was 20 years that he got in federal prison in New York.
So there's more time to be added?
Yeah. This is the next trial. So there will probably be another 20 plus years. But this and there's also something in Minnesota.
So after he has about 50 years, to me it's like a waste of time to keep trying.
Yeah. He's 57.
He's not going to get out of jail. He's never going to get out of jail. But the question for me and a lot of other people are, do you take away his music because
that's the question.
Is a horrible person?
Yeah, that's the question. Can you separate the man's actions from his music?
Yes. If we didn't know what we would know now, the Cosby Show is still funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's back on television.
And it's back.
Yeah.
And he is too.
Right.
Yeah, he's back.
And there's not one station that plays, well, there might be a few, but if you listen to satellite music, you don't hear R. Kelly's music at all.
Right.
And he has a fantastic library.
And he has he was a good musician, but you're gonna, I bet you that if we had gone to some barbecues this summer,
you're gonna hear some
cookouts.
But here's the other thing: there's so much music that R. Kelly wrote that we don't even know that's his music. Right?
Yeah, and he could pawn it off to somebody else and just stash the cash for whatever whenever.
Put it on his book. Let him buy some cheese and crackers in jail because he ain't getting out.
Okay, so let me tell you how angry I am, and this is one situation where this is one reason, not just because of the way that they treated Colin Kaepernick, but because of the little regard that the NFL has for women. And this is shown by what happened with Deshaun Watson, which is, I believe, one of our viewers was referring to. His suspension, originally handed down by a female judge, was 6 games. the NFL got a lot in their ear, and somebody said, you got to say something. You got to ask for more time for his suspension. So now they've upped it to 11 games. He's been suspended 11 games, and he has been fined $5 million. Jay, I say that's still not enough time for what he did to these women. And I say, if there were 23 or 24 women, at least suspend him 1 game for every woman.
Makes sense to me. I mean, he shouldn't be playing. But he, like you said, he's not playing, but he shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be, but here we go again.
Yeah.
And this happens all through college, all through high school. They overlook your dirty deeds because you're a good player.
And especially the white athletes. I mean,
definitely.
People have pointed to Raffensperger, who, a woman said
who made a comment about Deshaun Watson. Yeah, well, I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know if he.
I don't know if I want to check on that too.
Yeah.
But a woman charged him with sexual assault,
and he's still playing.
Nothing happened to him.
Nothing happened to him. Well, he didn't have a great season, so.
well, he's not had a few great seasons, so
I
guess.
Had a few.
But he's still there. He's still there.
He's still there.
Okay. So another major organization is going after him, saying the quarterback is clearly unapologetic for the alleged sexual misconduct, and that he showed this during his press conference today.
Apology shows guilt. So I bet he's got somebody in his ear telling him, do not apologize because it shows guilt.
That's a good point.
Take your punishment, sit it out, and then come back. How much did he make? I don't know. I don't know what he makes.
He's making. This is just but a dent in his pocket.
Oh, okay.
$5 million.
Like you said, it should be a bigger dent, so he feels the pain. He should be sitting out the season.
Check this out. The $5 million fine is 2.17% of his new $230 million contract with the Cleveland Browns.
That's nothing. And in a lot of cases, the team pays the fine. Mm-hmm. So he's not losing anything.
Yep, absolutely. This is which was renegotiated after more than 24 women accused him of sexual misconduct. And so the point is of this fine, or to the NFL, which is made an estimated $10 billion during the last season. The NFL made $10 billion last season and more than $15 billion the season before. This money is nothing to them.
It's nothing, right?
And these women's lives, I do hope they get paid. I don't think that they did it for the money, although I think they need to be compensated in some form or another.
In a larger amount, definitely with a larger amount.
Yeah, absolutely. The CDC has admitted failures in responding to the COVID crisis. Really?
You don't say.
Really? So the head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention admits the agency fell short in response to the crisis.
And it's such a shame because the CDC used to be, but I blame Trump for this, because when he was in the White House, he really took over, not so much as took over, but made the CDC say stuff that he wanted them to say in terms of COVID. Right. And they lost their credibility by listening to Trump. And that's just hard to get back. I mean, this is the disease center place in Atlanta, Georgia. That is the main place that we look to give us, guidance for diseases and stuff like that. And when you can't believe them, who can you believe?
Where do you go? Who do you turn to? Dr.
Oz, that's for damn sure. You don't want to listen to him.
And even Dr. Fauci, in the beginning was talking about, mask, no. Come on, give us something. And this isn't fair. But
Dr. Ian, I like Dr. Ian.
Dr. Ian, but not Dr. Oz, not
Dr. Oz,
not Dr. Fauci, but Dr. Rochelle Walensky says that they are going to make some changes and they're going to have a faster response to things that are going on. And you can start with monkeypox because it's here. and you got to do
will
something about that.
monkeypox, I don't know. Will monkeypox kill you? Can you die from it? Or
I don't know, but it sure makes you look awful.
Yeah. And like we said,
and you know how I feel about.
We said last week, you don't want to share chips with anybody.
Did you see? And I haven't done this story, but did you see that a gay couple gave because they allowed their dog to sleep in their bed? They got monkeypox and they gave it to their dog. Because whatever the skin or
the gay couple had it.
They had it and they gave it to their dog.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is what's going on. Those are our topics. And once again, Jay, folks, get to Riddles. I think Damon, when he was here the other day, said the tickets are going like that.
Yes. And yes, because they're bringing me back this time.
Right.
They were there by themselves.
Right. It was Myra and George last time.
Myra and George, but yeah.
And make time for Jay because he's got a lot to say.
George, they're gonna get me a watch too. So.
Is it gonna be a Movado or is it gonna be a Rolex? All right, so let's move to entertainment. And I thought that you would enjoy this because I know that this is one of your favorite people, entertainers, and that is Snoop Dogg.
I'm a big fan of Snoop. I'm not a fan of his politics.
Okay, not the politics.
Yes.
Not the politics. And we can talk about that because I'm not a fan of politics of a lot of entertainers too.
Right.
Especially those in California who are not supporting Karen Bass. But Snoop has a new product. And it goes with his previous product that he's been famous for.
What is it? What is this? I haven't heard of it.
He has a new breakfast cereal called Snoop Loops.
Snoop Loops.
Snoop Loops.
That's ingenious.
It's super. It's a super idea. This man who is known for his various types of weed. What goes better after a certain period of time, from what I understand?
Snoop Loops.
Snoop Loops.
What you eating, honey?
The cereal brand is a collaboration with Broadest Foods. That is Calvin. That's his real name, and which Master P currently jointly owns with.
Oh, Snoop. Wow! Look what you did there. Right.
It'll be available at most grocery stores through Broadest Foods. And you can see Master P's Instagram post about this. Snoop Loops. He says Broadest Foods introduces the best tasting cereal in the game. Snoop Loops with a Z. Snoop Loopz. We're taking over the grocery store.
They got to be good. They got to be good to beat Raisin Bran. I'm sorry. I mean. Raisin Bran, Sybil?
I'm a Raisin Bran girl.
Raisin Bran.
Yep.
Do you put extra raisins in your Raisin Bran?
No, I didn't do that. I
don't like the crunchy raisin now. I don't like that. I don't know.
Right.
Sometimes you get it by mistake. Mm-hmm. The crunchy, just the regular.
You just straight up
Raisin Bran man. And one thing I like about Raisin Bran, if you're in a house full of people and you just like Raisin Bran, nobody will touch it.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
You can have a whole box of Raisin Bran to yourself.
You'll never say, I thought I had a whole box. No. Master P says of the Snoop Loops, more corn, more flavor, more marshmallows. That's what separates us from the rest. If you like Fruit Loops, you'll love Snoop Loops.
Snoop Loops. Yes.
So
go ahead, Snoop.
Will you take a chance on him?
I'll take a chance. And he had the nicety to grace my club a couple times, and I smoke with Snoop.
That's what I wanted you to talk about.
Yes, I smoke. Snoop was on the Steve Harvey show. I found out that he was in the dressing room smoking because you could smell it all the way upstairs on the third floor.
And Jay, what happened to rolling the towel and putting it under the door?
Well, no, see, it's legal in California.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's legal. So Snoop is down there smoking, and I said, on my bucket list, I have this wish to smoke with you. And he said, you want some of this? And I took a hit. I went home First, I sat down. I sat down in the dressing room, and while Snoop was doing the show, and I couldn't even drive. I had to get an Uber home and come back and get my. I don't know what that is he was smoking. I have no idea, but I did smoke with Snoop. Yes.
And you don't remember anything
I
else?
don't remember anything. Nothing.
Wow.
Not one thing.
Do you remember the brand? What the name was?
I don't know what. It was already rolled up. So I don't know.
Okay. And I got to tell you, next time you come on, let me tell you about my adventures with having. It's not a CBD oil, but it's the THC. I took it to help me go to sleep. I didn't like the feeling.
Yes.
I didn't like that. I felt very woozy,
out of control.
and I was very scared that I wasn't going to wake up.
Well, there's some weed that will make you afraid. It exists. Yes.
Yeah, I might have got some of that, and it didn't make me feel comfortable enough to go to sleep.
But I say it once and I'll say it again. Jamaican weed is the worst weed ever.
It's overhyped, huh?
Overhyped.
Okay.
Overhyped. Yes.
All right, J. Anthony Brown, thank you so much, my darling.
Thank you, baby.
I appreciate it. Let me give you Yogi's Jewel, our daily inspiration. An open mind and a good heart can lead to a healthy lifestyle, J. Anthony Brown. I think that applies to you. An open heart and an open mind and a good heart can lead to a healthy lifestyle. I say that to you, my friend.
All right, to you.
All right, have fun in Chicago.
I will, baby. Bye-bye.
Take care. Safe travels. Thank you, everyone. See you all again soon. And there goes Jay. All right.